Hey, do you ever think about something like generational sin? You know, you can kind of phrase it in a way like father, like son, right? That's not always a positive thing. Why don't we talk about that a little bit as we just kind of digest a little bit of what it looks like when we think about Adam, we think about Abel, we think about Cain, we think about longevity and legacy. My name's Al, and this is the Pastor's Vlog. Does a child inherit sin from their father? Is there a biblical precedent for this with Adam and Cain? Good question, right? One we all have to wrestle with in some ways, because you think about it as a human being on the face of the earth with children of my own. Do my own sins impact my children, and will they impact my children, my grandchildren, and all those down the line? If so, where does this end? When we think about sin and when we think about generational sin, my mind goes back to, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That yes, all of humanity shares in the legacy of Adam's sin. Sin itself is not necessarily genetic. It's not coded in me that I will repeat the sins that my father wrestled with. We are all recipients of that sin nature inherited from Adam. But generationally speaking, I don't think we're all tied to that same sin. That's really what we're looking at here. So when we ask the question about generational sin, I think we also have to ask the question of generational forgiveness. It's not about a curse. It's about grace. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his son, much more now that we are reconciled, shall we be saved by his life. More than that, we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received reconciliation. Life is complicated by sin. We understand that. The consequences for our sin may be longer lasting than we ever thought, and it may impact the next generation, but the shame and condemnation that comes with that sin can be let go of, so that those in the future don't have to live in the shadow of what we've done, but they can live in the shadow of the cross. And if you're interested in a church that's unafraid and willing to dive into the hard questions and try to seek out the answers, we want to encourage you. Press that share button, follow button. We want to encourage you, press that follow button and be a part of what we're doing here at Redemption Hill Church.